Okay, we are back with some more Age of Mythology Retold casted games from the point of views of the players. This is from the EGC tournament Genesis. So this is the Mista versus Kavoth. We're going to be watching the Mista play Isis versus Kavoth's Hades. Now I've seen the Mista, I think we've watched a couple of Mista games playing Isis. But Isis is one of my favorite gods to play, if not my favorite god to play. And I believe, or I think it's one of the most exciting to watch the Mista pilot. I just think Isis can do so many things. We've seen before the Mista go for one town center plays with some cheeky monuments where you empower the monument and it increases this radius here where the enemy player can't use god powers, but you can play Isis in so many ways. We're on the map Alfheim, and I believe that this won't be that kind of play because I would expect this to maybe be some kind of two-town center. We can see that the priest is already scouting, and how the Mista normally plays from what we've seen before is he doesn't put his obelisks down until he gets his early Flood of the Nile and his temple out, because then Flood of the Nile, for anyone that doesn't know, gives you one food every second. So the earlier you get it, the better it is. Also getting 10 wood from the oak tree there, and then you can move him over to the mining camp or drop off and then move over to the mining camp. Absolutely fine either way. And you get in your early pickaxe. It's just so good for Isis because you already have 100 wood to start with. 45 food, pretty easy to get if you put your first 5 villagers over. And this is basically how I play now. I've stolen the Mista's build order. But actually, interestingly, he's found a good spot here where he's decided to throw down an obelisk, which shows one of the potential gold mines that the enemy might get. And Alfheim is a strange map which has lots of cliffs and lots of trees, so this could be a potential good choke point for later. He's scouted exactly what he needs to for this side. He's found both of his town centers without putting obelisks down. And now a cheeky one right in the corner. Excuse me. Cheeky one right in the corner, just on this hunt spot here, just in case Kavoth wants to sneak out with his granary. So he pre-queued Flood of the Nile. That is in. As soon as you hear the noise of the housing crisis, that is when you can drop your temple down. That's when I like to force drop. So after this villager, that'll sound, and then that's when you get 150 food. You can drop down your temple with 2 villagers to get up for a decent advance time. Because we're not playing, we don't hear that noise, but this is where I assume the Mista will drop his temple down. And there we go. He's actually dropping it down with 3 because he was a little bit late on it. I think it was actually the villager before that. 15 out of 20 is when it starts to sound. So, and then what I've seen the Mista likes to do is get a couple out onto wood and then get that husbandry technology nice and early. Especially these maps normally have a few cows on them, and it also helps your chickens and berry gather rates. Chickens for sure. Berries, I'm not sure. What are we looking for? Relics. Increases building hit points by 15%. Pretty nice. Especially as quite a defensive map. And against Hades, that's going to have that anyway. Then Myth units more resistant to pierce damage. I guess that's good against Hades because he wants to go for lots of archers. And he has extra damage on his archers and things. So it looks like he is also doing the thing he likes to do, get the second priest out. That's it, getting the second priest out. So basically just lay the land with as many obelisks as he possibly can. Also going through Bast. Bast is normally the choice when you're going... So you can go for Anubites early if you want to put on the pressure, if you want to go through Anubis. But normally, unless you're doing some kind of classical fight, it's just better to go Bast. You get the technology... Sacred Cats, I believe it's called, where you get extra food gather rate by 10%, and that can be just really strong, especially as it looks like he's going for some kind of second town center because he's got 10 on the gold here, and should be able to force drop that very soon, and then sneak over to this temple and get it there. He could have got it slightly earlier if he wanted to, but he's decided to get the tech to pick up relics and an extra pharaoh out, but shouldn't be that much of an issue, only delaying that by like one villager, and then he's also being able to scout around with this, get all the relics, so it's definitely worth pushing it back a little bit. Now he's at that 550. He's going to waddle over here, be absolutely fine. He actually got an extra priest out. So this is something that you can do. If you don't get your town center up, like if you went up like a 4-minute build order or something without Flood of the Nile, you could get an earlier town center, but you're probably going to net more resources advancing later and then just getting your getting a few priests out to defend plus this. So it looks like he's not going for that nose of the Sphinx. Probably just wants to be in a good defensive position. Some cheeky walls coming up from Kavoth, which probably means he wants to eventually move over here, but also just wants to just close off all the choke points. It's a good thing to do against Isis, especially as Ancestors Eclipse on the economy is still a thing. So what stops Ancestors Eclipse is walls, because they take ages to get through them, and then they just lose a good 20 seconds of value trying to get through the walls. Sphinx just having a scout around. It doesn't really want to find the Achilles, because I believe Achilles is faster. I think they did get nerfed at some point, so maybe Achilles is slightly slower. But yeah, walls coming up everywhere, and that's what these priests are here to stop, these 4 priests. It's a really nice adaptation, actually, because I don't think Kavoth would expect that. He definitely wouldn't expect a barracks up unless he was going for some kind of full classical play. So you would just expect the myth units, and that's why he had his Ajax there to defend. But Ajax doesn't like 4 priests, so that's nice. Also getting more priests out. Loads of priests out. That is really interesting. So he wants to put the pressure on and doesn't want Kavoth to get away with assuming that he's got 2 town centers. The awkward thing about Egyptians is you don't really have a good scout to get in there and have a look. He obviously has the Sphinx, but you don't want to throw away the HP of the Sphinx to the enemy Ajax or Achilles. It's just a little bit tough. The priests can walk in, but then they take ages to drop their obelisk down. And it's just not nice, really. But he's playing a lot more of a slower game. 6 priests. This is 600 gold. So this could have technically been an extra settlement, or the amount of resources that you need to get up to the next age. But don't need to rush it on a map like Alfheim. Some really nice walls could be coming up here to defend. Shame we couldn't get it that side for the gold mine. But if he does choose to go on this gold mine, then this cheeky wall here will actually do really well. And also he's got a gold mine right back here. Okay, if you play Alfheim and you see a gold mine like this, you know that it will be a defensive game, because your opponent will most likely have a gold mine like this too, behind some cliffs, or at least quite a defensive one. We're seeing there. So we've got a couple of Sphinx out to see what Kavoth is up to. And then here he is. Achilles is now the same speed. Okay, 5.3 to 5.3. So as long as you don't get snared, and then, yeah. So the only thing you've got to really watch out for is the snaring, and maybe this guy walking in front. But the Sphinx should be able to get away, and he has many priests to heal those guys back up. So a few whacks isn't really going to be a problem. Minotaur coming over here too. So Minotaur coming over to this food situation here. Hopefully he notices with the priests, because the Minotaur is really low. I mean, he shouldn't lose any here unless he gets unlucky with the bounce. A bit unlucky with that bounce off of the cliff, to be fair, unfortunately. Prize Sphinx in, should be able to take those out. Really nice raid, actually, to get two villagers against a player that has six priests there. But the Minotaur will go down for its troubles. Classical Age priests, not the strongest, so maybe not, but he doesn't have a way to heal it up outside of using Restoration, which would have to come with some kind of push. So we've seen Nephthys coming through, so this is kind of like a... Oh, is he also getting a town centre? Interesting play. Getting up to the next stage to get the Ancestors Eclipse if there is a problem, and then dropping a third town centre down. I mean, he hasn't seen any military units apart from just heroes and myth units, which means that you can get those out as Greek without dropping down any military buildings. So he doesn't know that there's going to be any military buildings or not, and queuing up everything. So he's got hand axe coming through, the special fast tech for chopping down wood quicker. Don't know how to say that one. Plow, survival equipment, and shaft mine pre-queued, which is what I've seen each Isis Mista game. He likes to pre-queue shaft mine. I think he does that with the other Egyptians too. It's just the thing. Gold for Egyptians is the most important resource, so why not get that? We're just seeing here with just a little bit of action against that wooden wall. Nothing crazy there. Still only with the heroes. you would expect that the enemy Hades player is probably going to be getting some military buildings down now, especially as the Mista's got to the heroic age. But this is more than enough to defend against any threat, really, or any threat that he could have come up with in the last couple of minutes past having nothing. Migdal Stronghold, market coming down. Migdal plus town center really secures this so well. And then he's got the obelisk here to spy whenever the enemy Hades player gets 3 town centers. So for now, he is ahead on the town center game. He was probably a bit later to getting his first town center than Kavoth did. I imagine he would have had a build order where he's just straight there. That's something that Greeks can do. Egyptians can do too, but as we said earlier, then you'd be sacrificing, not getting your priests, not getting your relics in. Whereas it's really cheap for the Greeks to do it. They only need 100 food, 50 gold to get a guy out, to get all the relics out. Getting some berries up here. I'm assuming he did get that. Yeah, Sacred Cats is just such a good upgrade. If you're going past, you need that one ASAP, and you really feel it if you don't get it in. So it looks like there's lots of military buildings, lots of military units coming in now. But Ancestors Eclipse is always going to be a good defensive tool. Heroes have run away to deal with the heroes, and the Ancestors Eclipse is actually on the economy instead. So while he is getting pushed here, the Migdal and the town center will be doing a lot of action. But the myth units in the main base causing all the Creek villagers to either go idle, or he's actually getting quite a few kills here where Kavoth is disrespecting the Ancestors Eclipse, which is not something you want to do, especially if it's an Eclipse with 3 myth units in as well. But the heroes did go back, but these are all bunching up here, and he's getting quite a few kills, which is nice to see as the ISIS player. And he didn't lose this town center here either. Managed to get a second Migdal up, and 2 Migdals plus a town center, and those priests will be able to defend. Or maybe if he went all in, he might not have been able to defend it, but the enemy Hades player would have just lost so much. And look at this Scorpion Man damage. This is after a nerfed Scorpion Man where he's now more expensive, but he still does the same amount of damage. He's going to get he got 2 extra kills there, might have even been 3. Migdal Stronghold back up to full HP. Cheeky wall, such a good cheeky wall here, making sure that Hades player has to run all the way around this side to actually get to Migdal Stronghold, which makes life a bit harder for Kavoth to get in and attack. Unless he wants to get some kind of catapult in to go over here, that is also an option. Also, we're seeing Thoth in nice and early. So Thoth will be hitting around, what's that going to be, like 14 minutes-ish? Which is pretty nice considering he's got 3 town centers, double Migdal Stronghold, a decent amount of units out. But more just prioritizing that tech and then pre-queuing the flood control farming upgrade, which means he wants to get some food units. So maybe he'll be going for Thoth elephants. Maybe it looks like he's getting some camels now, but Thoth elephants aren't a bad choice. The issue is against Greeks have the Prodromus, which counters everything that's in the Migdal Stronghold. Technically, the camels should then counter back, but not as strong. So they have 3.5 times 10 damage versus 8.8 times 2. So it just isn't the same. The Prodromus are just insanely strong, and this is what we were seeing. Because of this little wall here, we want to get a catapult out as the Hades player. But Mercenary getting built by the Mista. Normal Mercenary aren't very strong, but they do tank a little bit. Mercenary Cavalry are very strong, or relatively strong compared to what they used to be, but they are pretty good, but nothing compared to what they used to be. So we've got Gold Mine, Gold Mine, Gold Mine, so he's absolutely set. As long as he can defend this position, or sack this position, take this one, the Mista's in a pretty good spot here. So it looks like, is he going to be getting that technology right here? He's going for a meteor onto the army, because the meteor does divine damage, so it does so much damage to units. You can see that they're all really low here. Would have also taken a few out from that first hit that I unfortunately missed. But it does look like we're getting Valley of the Kings, which means that he'll be printing elephants from this one over here, or printing whatever he likes. So the Valley of the Kings tech is wherever the Pharaoh is empowering, you get 2 of that. You get 2 of that unit. So if he gets an elephant here, as soon as the first elephant gets made, he'll then get a second one. then the same works for the barracks too. If you want to do it from the barracks, you train one slinger, and he's empowering it, you get 2 slingers. Lots of food in the bank here, yep, and he's spending it all on elephants, which is exactly what he wants to do. Just to get a couple of defenders out, he built a couple of chariot archers here. Unfortunately, the heavy peltasts are in, but what is a good counter to counter archers would be something really beefy like the elephants there. Really nice raid actually from Kavoth there to get the Pharaoh. The Mista just needs to make sure that the Pharaoh gets in and empowers it just as soon as the elephant comes out. Was he attacked? Did it actually not come out? That was really weird. Maybe he has to empower it the whole time, or he got hit off right at the last second. That was a pretty good play from Kavoth if that's actually what happened there. He managed to cancel out the Valley of the Kings. This is a really nice push here, but the Mista's got so much food in the bank, so much gold. Just needs to get out some more Migdal strongholds, which he's getting here, and start printing elephants again, which is what he'll probably decide to do here. Get those back on the gold mine to then get another Migdal stronghold out. Second restoration coming out. The first one costs 80, so definitely use that second one there. And this is what we're saying. The mercenary cavalry are actually pretty good. Unfortunately, Prodromus are here, so not really the best. But the Mista has got value out of this. He had this, I think we said it was like, this was when he went up to the heroic age. So that was about 10 minutes. So he's had that for 6 minutes. So he's had 3 town centers longer than the enemy Hades player has had 2 town centers. So absolutely fine there. So he's had an extra 6 minutes of town center time. And these walls here are perfect. And this natural tree line is perfect for getting a catapult here. Or just the villagers can also just go and shank. Not a problem there. But he is getting pushed back here. Double Migdal stronghold though. Elephant printers, absolutely fine. So Kavoth gets the settlement up, but as we just said, siege works here with a nice catapult that can have a natural barrier to get that town centre down. If he then gets stone walls up, be absolutely fine, or something out to defend as well. So these guys unfortunately do get countered by the Prodromus, but you get so much value by getting these out because you're only paying for 1, you get 2, so it's not bad at all considering how expensive they are. Also, against heavy peltasts, these absolutely shred them. Champion war elephants, 34 damage, 24 hack damage per second will tear down the peltasts. And we are going to see that eventually, but siege works take a while to build. So rather than building chariots, which is something that ISIS players do want to build, the Mista's just seen full peltasts. What's the point in building chariots? Full elephants definitely counters loads of counter archers. And he can choose to get this town center up if he really wants to, but I think probably a good siege here and then a pushback here against these to make sure that they're not going to come around and defend these catapults that are coming out is probably the best call. I mean, just look how many of these he's managed to get out. He's also, yeah, so he's going to start to get chariots out of here because you would expect that Kavoth wouldn't be building any more peltasts now, seeing that the Mista's going pure war elephants. Catapults in, and unless Kavoth can manage to take down this wooden wall quick enough, then the town centre will be going down. Although it is only wooden wall, so it does go down relatively quickly. But still, extra time. Always good to have your siege behind a wall. And he's got so many units queued. Could even get another Migdal stronghold down. Could get a Migdal stronghold here, which he already has. Doesn't really need it for dropping the town centre, but just nice to get more up to be able to spend those resources. He's got so much wood in the bank because he hasn't been able to build those chariot archers, but he's using it to get fortified town centres, so more population space. Champion chariots, now he's started to build some. He's got quite a lot in the queue and getting those nice armouring upgrades like bronze weapons. So this is what we expected to see, but Migdal stronghold up will be able to do decent damage against what is coming to defend the catapults. And then, yeah, just even one shot against an unupgraded one does so much damage. But would be good to get a couple of units over here. But also wants to just push this to not give up this settlement either. Because then if he loses this one and then loses this one, then he's in for a bit of a trouble. And from what I've heard from the Mista, he doesn't like to attack in just one spot. He likes to separate the fights because most people aren't really used to it, and it's something that I'm really not used to. So it's just good to be able to, if you're good at multi-managing things, managing one side, managing the other, why not use it to your advantage? Getting another wall up, chariots coming out to be able to defend against these Prodromus because they don't really have that much pierce armor. Technically, they counter because they have bonus damage, but they'll go down pretty quick with ballistics being able to hit them as well. Just pushing back this one just so we can get the settlement, and then denying this one your 3 town centers to 2 town centers with a large economy in such a commanding position. Unfortunately, this score thing is bugged out here. He definitely doesn't have 1.5k population in military. I don't know where that's come from. Recorded game bugs, but winning this side, not losing this side yet, pushing back, and surprised he's not targeting the fortress, because one of these catapult shots against the fortress that isn't built yet would do so much damage, but probably just wants the town center, so he's up in population. Elephant's going hard, and now he's got the town center up. Can use that economy to get extra population of the mercenary cavalry, and well, they are going down pretty quick, but they do tank for a while, and there's no answer to these catapults, so these will just go down every time, or Kavoth will just be losing so many resources actually trying to rebuild this one up, and then that is it. Winning hard winning the bottom, and just denying the top. Really nice play, and I like seeing ISIS play differently. So this is differently than we've seen it played from the Mista before, and yeah, what a good game. And if you want to see the whole game for this, it's EGC TV. I'll leave a link to their Twitch stream if you want to catch the whole set, and I'll see you in the next one.